Yep, great. All right, back to it. We got threes, we got twos, we got ones, and that means we back in the building.
Let's go.
Say something, fam. Welcome to the new year. I know it's been a minute. Relax, stay calm. We got y'all. 2026 is looking great. Hope you guys had a phenomenal holidays. Hope you got to spend it with family, friends, whatever floats the boat. And I hope 2026 for you too is looking great.
Yes, sir.
We are excited. I know I am. I know as I was talking to my boy earlier, we are pumped to be back. We got a lot of great sports to talk about. A lot has happened. Anytime we skip a couple weeks, you know, the ammunition is crates full. The sports never stops, even when we do. So we're going to get to our tradition first. As you know, we're going to bring traditions into the new year, especially ones that work for us. So we hope this is working for you as well. Just a friendly reminder, make sure, look to your right, look to your left, pick up that phone, send a text. You never know when it makes a difference. To just check in, see how somebody's doing, and to have somebody do the same for you. So Mitch, how you doing? Tell the people, let them know.
Just was doing a lot of resting over the holiday season, seeing a lot of family, trying to get the body back ready so I could come into 2026 strong. So looking to do that as well as continue to talk more sports. And so that's why I'm happy to be back. Like you said, it's been a while, but we're back.
Absolutely.
How you holding up?
I'm good, man. I'm excited. I feel like the break was exactly what I needed in terms of like the school break, winter break. You know, it's something that I completely forgot what that's like when I wasn't a student. So I'm just making sure that I fully embrace it because it won't be around for a long time potentially. So it was good. Like you said, I did a lot of resting, did a lot of relaxing, planned out a trip, got to see some family as well from out of town. My birth mom and my bro came in town. So I got a new photo of him that I was able to put up. He's in high school, right? So lots of updates that are just more life updates that were great to get. And rejuvenating within themselves to just experience it. And then also just like those mornings of not having to do anything, as selfish as that sounds, just, man,
feels good sometimes.
It was real special. And we had some big storms, right? So it was very encouraging of the rest of like, yo, it is freezing outside, bone chilling, and lots of rain. So I'm excited to be back. 2026 feels good. And like Mitch said, the last thing that I would say is, I'm preparing my body to get back in the gym. I feel like I had a lot of mental fatigue, and then we went on a hot streak of going for so often, so frequently. I think we both dealt with a little bit of burnout. So I'm excited to get back into it, maybe slowly creep back in because I surely cannot be at the pace that I once was.
For sure. Boy, getting old now.
Right, we getting up there. But I'm really excited to just get back on a healthier 2026 hype.
Definitely. So, it's never too late.
Yeah.
Get back in there.
Come on now. Anytime is a good time. All right. But we're going to jump right in because as we said, we got a lot to talk about. And if we continue yapping too much, we won't get to everything we want to. So we're going to start off with the NFL. A lot of these are famous 3-letter leagues, as we call them. We're starting here because we have activity. Lots of it going on.
Playoffs.
Lots of movement. Still games, like my boy said. Playoffs. Draft order has been decided, right? So lots to look forward to and lots to look at right now. We'll start off with the Raiders.
But let's start off with the playoffs. So we can talk about.
You want to start off
talk
with
about your boys. Start off on
my boy doesn't want to delve into depression too quickly. So we'll start 2026 with people who are still winning, which we can. So playoff review right now. I mean, I can start off with the Niners, not a problem. Red and gold. If you hadn't heard or seen, we're still around. We're still alive. We're still fighting.
Limping into the playoffs and still taking out the defending champs.
Hey man. Woo! Even the best of players walk with a limp, So all I gotta say is, this is a year that I've talked. If you just watch these videos, like I chalked this year up a long time ago, but not in the sense of like, I always think there's great things to take out of a season, right? Like I always said, there'd be good player development aspects to this, right? Coaching opportunities where you get to see a lot of creativity, and the hope for a Brock Purdy, guys like that, to take larger leadership roles and to really understand nobody's here.
Well,
let it rock.
it's funny you say that because that is kind of how you predicted it from the very beginning of the season, where you're like, I don't have very much hope. But then when we went through the wins and losses through the schedule, it was like, but we still damn near might go 13-4. So like, it's like, it's hella funny where it's just like, I'm looking at the season like, yeah, we got no chance, and we're ass. Even though some of the pundits were like, yeah, there's a chance. Nah, it's the Raiders still. But like to go into the season, yeah, we might get like the 10th pick or something like that. We'll see what's going on. But this schedule is kind of light with the team we got, so we still might do something. Man. Still pretty much put up that number.
There it is. It's true. I did see the light schedule, and I know that sometimes as well when you see a light schedule, you also think about coaching, where it's just like X's and O's sometimes gets over the Jimmys and Joes, and a lot of that schedule was screaming that to me. And I love my coaching staff. I love my front office. Do they have moments where they're human? Of course. Mm-hmm. But I have a lot of faith in that group. I won't waver. I don't want anybody else up there. So I just looked at that schedule. And, a lot of those teams you feel like could beat themselves. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And a lot of those teams did exactly that. Because I wouldn't say we beat everybody. I would just say there was teams that beat themselves. And also, we do have a great coach who is going to out-scheme the majority of these coaches. And I don't want to dive too much into it because, I want to progress correctly through this segment. But we did that against the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah. We out-schemed the brakes off of the Philadelphia Eagles. I know Coach Sirianni's hot. I know he witnessed an absolute candy robbery of a baby. Just yoink, I need that. And so, sometimes you got to just tilt your hat to somebody who's going to let it all hang as a coach. And the way he's coaching, he knows if things don't go right, it could look really wrong. Yeah. But he also knows we don't have the extra juice to just sit back. We've really got to do what we need to do. So real fast, I'm just going to go over the playoffs so far, what we have. And we can do that together in this playoff bracket. So why don't you so far cover the AFC and where that's at?
All right.
And then I'll take the NFC.
All right. So we had a great game. Josh Allen finally able to overcome a tough game and win one against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, that was a big game.
27-24. And then we had the New England Patriots.
Sad for T-Law, too, by the way, because they really felt like them guys was somehow building something.
Yeah.
It's just that quick.
There's always next year, right, guys?
Yeah, exactly.
Then we had the Patriots take on the Chargers. Very uninteresting game. It was 16-3. I kind of expect this is what the Chargers do. They always somehow get into the playoffs, but Justin Herbert is just getting absolutely abused over there and somehow still winning games. But they need to shore up that line and make sure they can protect him because he might be the next Andrew Luck the way he's getting smacked around over there.
Right.
And then last but not least, Houston Texans took care of business. I mean, I've been surprised with the Steelers just with how they've been playing this whole season. It's another Mike Tomlin team. Unfortunately, he's gone now, but they somehow snuck into the playoffs, and Aaron Rodgers showed his true colors like he always does as of the last decade since he has been able to win a championship. And the Steelers imploded. They didn't have anything to go on offense. I'm bitter the whole time. I was thinking in my head, week 16, Jalen Warren wants to put up 30 points in fantasy. But then they put up 10 points the next game, 6 points this game. They're never really a contender this whole time, and the Texans seem like a team that is poised to potentially make it to the championship and win. So
number one defense in the league.
Yeah, they took care of business.
That defense is gross.
C.J. Stroud's got to figure it out on the offensive side.
He's not great.
That's looking pretty rough, but yeah, if their defense can hold teams to under 10 points, they got a chance.
Yeah.
So that's the wrap up for them. The New England Patriots now are going to move on. They're going to be taking on the Houston Texans. And then the Buffalo Bills will be taking on the number one Denver Broncos. We'll talk about that next time.
Yes, sir. All right, on to the NFC. Oh, and the Broncos were the bye there, which is shocking. That's crazy. And both of these buys, I'd say, are equally shocking. So Seahawks with the bye, great team though. Not taking anything against them, but like I feel like the NFC was just towards the end of the season was just an absolute just bing. We'll just see where that lands. So first and foremost, we had Panthers at the 4 slot, which is also just this division stuff is kind of shocking. At the 4, taking on the Rams at home.
Crazy game.
Rams went up early. Looked like it was going to be same old story, and especially since the Panthers got the Rams a couple weeks back. I don't think people really remember that. They snuck one in on them. I thought there is no way Matthew Stafford and these guys take them lightly at all. They're going to throw them out the building. And it looked like that in the beginning. And then, of course, the way these Panthers are, fight hard team, no give up in them. They got – I think they do like Bryce Young. You know, I think regardless of what the stats say, I think the team rallies around him. And I think they got a guy in T-Mac, too, who's a real threat and a guy that changes defenses. And hopefully they can continue to kind of build on that defense, which, at certain times was looking good, And if that O-line, I know they lost an O-lineman, one of their best, Okun, I think is his name, to start the game, which was just, but that line is getting better. And if they can continue to do that, I think they're a team that division is wide open, right? So it could be theirs moving forward. But the Rams move on 34-31, right there at the end. And
man, Puka is crazy, bro.
Crazy.
I'm very curious to see if the post Matthew Stafford era for Puka Nacua. I'm curious just to see if it's this much volume all the time. You see it with JJ McCarthy and Josh and
Jay Jettis.
Jay Jettis.
Jay Jefferson.
So I'm surprised. I didn't see this when he first got
No.
But he's absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Puka's, wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2 in the league right now, pretty much. But yeah, he's an absolute beast. And that last drive, anytime you put Matthews, it's just so rare at this point that you see him falter in those situations where they know what they need. And, both him and McVay just go hand in hand in terms of one of the best duos that we have in the league of I hate saying it hurts even saying it. But next we move on to the 3rd seeded and defending champion Philadelphia Eagles versus the number 6 seeded, my boys, the faithful, the Niners. And yet again, very similar story, I think, to the Rams game in a certain sense where early on it just felt like, okay, we might get blown out here. I know the Eagles just have this certain hate for us in the same way that we hate them, to where I just thought that this was going to be a statement game for them. It looked like they've been dealing with a lot of turmoil themselves. And it felt like this was going to be a moment that they really wanted to put their foot down and say, we're playing good ball at the right time. Fear us. And the reality is Jalen Hurts is just not a good quarterback. He's good in a lot of other areas in terms of it. Like if you want to talk about a game manager, that's what a game manager is, where you are incapable of making the throws necessary in moments where there's nothing else to call. They can't give you a short. They can't give you a run. They can't give you an option. Okay? That to me is what a game manager is. Now, does he have skills with his legs? Does that offense and this different kind of things that they've created dynamically work for them? Yes. But A.J. Brown they to me have 2 wide receiver 1s that could really be that caliber of a player on any other team. Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, right? Both those guys look like wide receiver 3s in that offense. And to me, it's not even a volume thing. If you watch them play, once you get to a point where you're willing to sell out on the run, there is just nothing over the top for them. And they were beating us over the top at times. And he couldn't get it there. He just couldn't get the ball there. And then what did you watch happening? Well, we start selling out on the short outs. And then now we're making plays on those. Because we know you're not throwing that bitch 30. Right? So the reality for me is they got a really hard decision to make because they're going to lose one of those.
AJ's gone. AJ gone.
It's you choose Jalen or you choose AJ. I think that team is in a world of trouble, and I would be surprised if Sirianni ain't on the hot seat. Because I just feel like that relationship with
Really?
the players ain't right.
It's not right no more.
It ain't right. It's just they've been winning, so that helps.
Right.
And that's the exact story I think we're seeing, is that they're doing enough winning to where neither side can completely point the finger at the other and say, see?
Yeah.
But when you watch what's happening, there's no camaraderie. A.J. Brown almost slept Sirianni on the sideline over there, and this is not the first time, right? And Big Dom, they got staff over there where you can tell how they're reacting. They're going, here we go again, right? So lastly, we have the Bears versus the Packers, and wow. Again, seeding-wise, you would never know because the Packers were the 7, the Bears were the 2. But obviously, the Packers in this matchup are always favored. And again, all these games very similar in terms of the team you thought really jumped out, really started off going crazy. They were up, I think, 21-3.
Yeah.
And this is early. This is before halftime. So it's looking like, see you next round. Don't even trip, buddy. Let me go get my hot cocoa, and let's call it a day. And the Bears, like they've done against us and many other teams, kept fighting, kept going at it. Caleb, for all they want to hate, shows up in some pretty big moments. But also what I think is when you watch him, it's just he's so off schedule with stuff that sometimes it does harm the team a little bit. But sometimes I just think it's impossible to plan for. It's like legitimately, how would we have known he would do something like that?
Well, it's just like it's so hard to play cornerback in the NFL. So if you're able to somehow get yourself 6 seconds
extra every time,
somebody's gonna be open out there.
And he has the arm to do it where he's throwing angles. He's and so. And then I like that receiving core, to be honest. Like, I think Luther Burden is nice. I mean, I think that, DJ Moore Loveland. You got freaking Rome Odunze. I mean, they could be a danger. And then who looks really awesome, too, that I feel like I keep forgetting is on the team and sleeping on is DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, DeAndre Swift and who is it, Monungai?
And then, Kyle Monungai, yeah. Looking good. So that leaves us with the Seahawks taking on the Niners. That's coming up next. And then we have the Bears versus the Rams. So, again, we will get that next week as we begin to look, 100% of those games happening. We'll leave the rest of that for right now.
Who would you is this going to be an all NFC West championship
I think so.
round?
I think so. And, I mean, if you looked at the NFC, the likelihood of that was there.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I thought the NFC was just so poorly represented this year. Obviously, the Eagles, teams like that could have thrown a monkey wrench in there. But I find it really hard to think. I mean, the only thing that they have going for them is, it's going to be disgusting weather.
Yeah.
In Chicago, so they're not going to be dink-a-dunking like they could in a lot of other situations. However, some of their star players are very used to playing in the cold. Right. Matthew Stafford, Detroit. You got Puka Nacua playing in BYU. These guys have played in the snow. So we'll see. But if I were to make a guess right now, I'd say all NFC.
All NFC, Rams versus.
I'm going. At this point.
You guys beating the Seahawks?
At this point, it's got to feel like something of destiny with the Super Bowl being in Santa Clara. But I don't want to speak on it just because what's been best for me is to just ride, because we lost Kittle, right? He's done for this is a torn ACL. I mean, excuse me. This is the torn Achilles. It just hurts me to say these things. Like, it's just like I'm laughing at this point because that's a year.
Yeah. George
Kittle's not playing for us next year unless we go to the playoffs.
Tongas, baby, Tongas.
Like and he's amazing. Yeah. Like, it's not like it's just sad. It's just really like we can't even go a week without Tatum Bethune was last week. Him for the whole year, right? I just feel like you're always just getting adjusted to like, all right, fine. If it's gonna be this way, I guess it'll look like this. And then it's like, nope, it's not gonna look like that. So I just feel terrible for him and fuck Brandon Ayuk. I was gonna mute that out, but it's just I don't even like the cuss. I've cussed twice on this show here today, but I feel like they're warranted. You have people dying out there for us, man. Dying, bro. And you're sitting there over a bonus and you got paid and you getting fat at the house playing video games and talking crazy. I can't wait to see you back in the NFL because nobody's going to want to play with you and we're going to want to smack you. So go to another team, go get that helmet, go get those pads. I know you think you're really like that, but I can't imagine Ricky's still cool with you. I'd hope he ain't. I know you guys go back, so that's probably crazy to even say, but how? Like, how did you just do this? And how do you, I mean, I know it's gotten too far gone now, but we have people that were injured the whole year still going out there, and then now they're gone for literally months and months and months, and you haven't even practiced hard.
Come on.
Come on, Brandon. DA, I really thought you were a dog, man. And you're not, bro. You're the only dog that's in you is like Cleveland Brown kind of dog, and that's just boo-boo. So go over there or something. Anyway, enough of that butthurt talk.
The AFC.
Yeah.
AFC, I'm going to go with the Broncos, and I'm going to say the Patriots, both the top seeds, take care of business. I think the Patriots are going to just be the same old team that they've been. I think Drake May has been playing incredible, and I think their defense holds up against CJ and their offense. I don't think they can really compete compared to the New England having to go against a tough Houston Texans team. I think they just have enough offense compared to what the Texans have out there, even though they do have Nico Collins and Christian Kirk had a great game.
Mm-hmm. I don't think Nico Collins is playing, though.
Oh, yeah, he got his concussion. Yeah. So another person out of there. So I think it's going to be too tough for them. And then I know the Denver Broncos are coming off a bye, but I don't know. Josh Allen and the Bills have not looked super impressive. They've been consistent somewhat, but they're always a team that can falter at any time. And it would be the first time, who's the coach? Sean Payton is going to be potentially the first coach that could be a champion for two different teams, coaching two different teams. So I think that story keeps them moving on. And I see the Denver Broncos taking on the Patriots.
Mm-hmm. The one thing I will say is it's all good defenses left except for the
Bills.
Patriots. I mean, the thing to me that'll be very interesting to see is the Texans' defense is truly head and shoulders ahead of all these other defenses. And, like, I know good defense from a lot of these Niner defenses. That we played them not that long ago. That was so scary because they were not even good offensively. Like, there was no worry when they had the ball. Yeah. It was like, we don't want the ball back. And that's crazy.
Just run
that is crazy. Like, Brock Purdy was legit like, I'm cool. Please.
The boys hit hard.
He's like, bro, I went 360, got concussed in the middle of the 360, and threw a pick in the same play. He didn't even know what was happening, bro. But yeah, so like when you look at the AFC, I think that's very interesting to see. Is that, man, it has churned out some defensive heavy teams.
Crazy.
All right. Moving on. As we said initially in this, before we jumped into our playoff review and preview, we're going to go ahead and look at the Raiders because they are out of that.
This might take a second. This might take a minute, this segment.
They're not currently sniffing anything called the playoffs. They're looking at number one
total rebuild. Total rebuild from coach down.
Who's already gone.
Is different.
Who's already
gone. Pete Carroll out of there.
Cooked. What was it else? The GM's still there, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be Tom Brady
and
Spytech. They're going to be taking care of business. Basically,
they got rid of Chip, all of them cats.
Yeah, everybody's gone.
Cooked.
Got to find a whole new staff out there. So that's where we'll start here. Raiders with Pete Carroll just went 3-14. Tried to come back and be contenders. Definitely not that kind of team. It's not there's just a few fixes that the Raiders need, then they'll be on the track to be a playoff team. No. We need a total rebuild top to bottom. We need a coach that's willing to take a few years, that we're willing to commit to for a few years to see that happen, because next year is not going to be a year that's going to turn us around. We need too many players at too many positions to make that a possibility. It's been too long. So who's out there for us? They're saying your boy in San Francisco, Robert Saleh, could be a great candidate for us. I think that would be a solid choice. I'm not going to look down on him because of his time with the Jets. They're the Jets too. So they weren't. And that's another situation where they weren't even looking to rebuild. It was like, no, we have a team and we need you to coach them up and make them a contender. Nah, we need to start with coaching.
Right.
We need to develop a culture, and then we need to have just like a game plan that everybody's behind, rather than just a bunch of individuals. So,
and compared to Aaron Glenn, to be fair, he made the Jets look respectable.
yeah.
Like, sure, he got fired because they were expecting to be playoff, but the
Mm.
Jets were fighting
Looking
with y'all
solid.
for the
Yeah.
number one this
Mhm.
year. Yeah.
And they were solid before, and then they
Right.
had to get rid of everybody. Now,
Yep.
no Sauce, no Quentin Williams, like
Gone.
they're all gone. So there's a question for me. We have the number one pick now. Does that mean we go get Fernando Mendoza right now? Because Dante Moore said he's already going back to Oregon. So that's the only other person we would think about in the top two, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I see that the Jets have the 2nd and the 16th pick. All right. Are we ready to commit to a young quarterback right now and see him go through the stages of becoming better on a team that isn't ready for him to be there and be successful per se? Because it's gonna like I don't even know if he could put up a Jackson Dart kind of start for our team, but maybe. But for me, I think maybe if we can try and get the Jets 2nd and 16th pick, move back, see if we can get more players, and then go into our free agency where we have somebody like an in between guy, like a Malik Willis or somebody just to hold strong until maybe the next few years. Because I assume we're going to have another year where we're going to be a lottery pick, like a top 3 pick again next season. So if we do go into free agency, our defense is terrible. What can we do with our new head coach in Robert Saleh? Let's go get 2 intelligent young linebackers who can hold our defense strong when we do bring in young guys around them. I'm seeing guys out here, 27-year-old Kenneth Murray from Dallas. He's a good person that we could get. I know somebody like Quincy Williams from the Jets is solid. A Quay Walker from Green Bay could help us out. A Devin Bush at linebacker, 27 years old. Devin Lloyd, 27 years old. There's some guys. Nakobe Dean is out there for free agency this coming up season. So I think there's a lot. Christian Harris from the Texans is out there in free agency. All of these guys are unrestricted free agents coming up. So I think getting some of those guys who are 25, 26 years old who can put up solid numbers and keep us respectable so our defense isn't just out there all day getting abused. We can still put up a fight. But guys who are looking forward to maybe when they're 27, 28, 29, have these young guys that we're going to get through the draft be the cornerstone for us moving forward, because we need it on both sides. But if we don't have a defense that's going to hold up, our offense isn't going to be doing anything to help right now. Like we don't have a number one wide receiver. We have Brock Bowers. Don't have a quarterback right now. Our running game looks shaky because our offensive line is not there. That's another thing we can key in on free agency and through the draft is our offensive line. So there's just so many things that need to be covered from top to bottom that it's just about getting those core people that you're going to grow with for the next 2 to 3 seasons, so that by that time, if we can possibly get our quarterback in a draft or through free agency, that's going to be the time where we're ready, rather than each year we're looking to get 16, 17 free agents that we're just going to throw together and hope that they can figure it out. And as we can see, that doesn't work. That goes 3-14. We need cohesion. We need a group of guys coming up together. We might even end up like having to get rid of a guy like Max Crosby just because he's somebody who deserves to be on a contending team. And we need so many assets that he's kind of wasting away with us. So 100%. There's so many things from top to bottom that need to be worked out, and it's up to Tom Brady and our GMs and our front office to figure out what direction we actually want to go in and then commit to it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the one thing that hopefully Tom Brady knows best is that when you do a rehaul, like the whole definition of that is like kind of everybody that's valuable's got to go in order to get the most out of it. And it also just seems like, God, don't you want to do that before you completely sour the relationship with the guy? I mean, the dude seems like he's getting pissed off at this point where he's just like, all right,
we're just
trolling,
like benching him, man.
Yeah, it's like y'all trolling, I'm trolling. Like we're to it. So real fast, I do want to read all the NFL head coaches who have been fired because I feel like that is a crazy list this year. And normally it is definitely not this many moving, parties going on, and definitely not this many openings. So we have the Browns, Kevin Stefanski after 6 seasons, out of there.
Get him out.
Cardinals, Jonathan Gannon after 3 seasons.
Get him out.
Dolphins, Mike McDaniel over 4 seasons.
Get him
See you
out.
later. Falcons, Raheem Morris. Good try. Here's the door. We got my boy Brian Daboll with the Giants. Sorry about it. We got the Raiders, Pete Carroll. See ya later. We got the Ravens, John Harbaugh. Some big names here. Salute you, my man. Steelers, Mike Tomlin. Wow, walking off. Man, he backdoored that. And then the Titans, Brian Callahan, who we all knew probably shouldn't have been there in the first place. So the only hiring so far that we have had, obviously, was John Harbaugh going to the Giants.
Right.
Which was
big move.
Which I think is amazing for the Giants and Jackson Dart as well. And they have the 5th overall pick. So interesting to see kind of where they go from that. But I thought he was going to take a break. Like Tomlin, I was pretty surprised at how quickly he must be angry. Because that's a quick turnaround to just say, all right, you know what? Feels like he has something to prove.
Were you guys talking before this? Or
Right. Wow. Okay.
That was pretty fast.
Went from Brian Daboll to John Harbaugh. It's a good jump. So that leaves still the Browns with a vacant position, Cardinals with a vacant position, Dolphins with a vacant position, Falcons with a vacant position, Raiders, Ravens, Steelers, and Titans, all with no head coach.
Coaching carousel. It's going to be going wild this offseason.
Wow. Exactly. And so some of those names you just never thought would even be on that list.
Right.
And obviously, Tomlin and Harbaugh, that whole division just went into the laundry overnight. All right. So that's pretty much the update there. Put in the comments if you guys have a feeling of what you would want the Raiders to do with that number 1 overall pick. Do you think Mendoza? Do you think swap it out like Mitch is saying and maybe get a 2 and a 16 or maybe a 2 and a top 2nd round pick, whatever it is, and then a first next year? Because often that's how teams like to do it, where they like give you 2 firsts. Who knows? Like that, I think that both of those are very valuable, and I think that you're spot on with the monopoly that now exists because Dante Moore decides to go back.
Right.
So the 2 is no longer like, hey, we're really working with something here. It's kind of like 1 or done.
Right.
So let's see.
I have a little bargaining.
Let's not have the Raiders dud this one up. That's all I know. Let's hopefully.
Yeah, let's not just pick a random. Like, I know these D linemen for Miami are raw, but like, let's just not pick somebody that nobody's thinking about. Like, God.
Cleveland Farrell 2.0 with the 1
bro.
slot.
That's got to be the biggest, like, head scratcher.
Wow.
Like, everybody was kind of like,
bruh. You spent
you
guys prepared for that? Like, you guys spent time?
Let me look through the notes. We had it day 3, but let's go ahead and give him that 4-piece. He's probably already got more sacks on the Niners than he ever did on the Raiders.
He said, "Oh, we do got a day 3." Imagine the other GMs though, in some of those picks where they're like, "Oh, he did what? Oh, we're at 5. We're good. Like it's we're good. We're good. We forgot we were drafting him behind the Raiders."
Oh yeah, we almost lost all 10 minutes down the clock. Oh shit, we just finished laughing, guys.
Right. Oh no, man. So yeah, let's hope that there's a perfect, because this is a perfect opportunity to actually reset. And with Tom Brady there, Lord willing, it can't go wrong. You make a good hire and you attach it to whoever this first pick is.
And also, I'm like a little bit salty off the Mendoza hype because of how he was at Cal and how things are moving forward. And I don't,
he does look funny.
He looks solid. I can't deny.
Shredding college football.
But yeah, it's like, all right, well,
with no 5 stars, and he is an absolute square, which a piece of me feels like, is that not what the Raiders just need at this point? Is a guy who's just like,
football. We had that with Derek Carr. What do you mean?
Right. Yeah, but I mean, he wasn't a number 1 overall pick. But Derek Carr was the last semblance of stability for the team, though. You know, you need a guy that's just football, Jesus, and family. You know what I mean? And in that order. You know what I mean?
Jesus and the Raiders, synonymous.
For real. For real. So is there any other, before we move on, is there any other coaches that you would be interested in? I know you mentioned.
I know before I mentioned the coach from Notre Dame would be cool just to revamp, and because we need somebody who's going to be new energy. I don't think we can keep on doing same old with these other coaches, just trying to re-implement old like philosophies that they've had with other teams. And from past experiences and successes, I think we need somebody who's willing to build something rather than just like try and contend at any kind of point for the next couple of seasons. Because when you're thinking of contending, you make different decisions than you do when you're a team that's focused on rebuilding, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Well, I'll be very intrigued to see if I hope they go younger. Yeah. Like I really hope with the way that the league is, they need to take a clue. And after they made that 70-year-old hiring where it's like you can't be so short-sighted.
Old Pete.
Right. You can't be so short-sighted. Come on now. All right. On to NCAA football with a playoff update just continuing in the round